Champions League era. Last one since Alan Kennedy's goal for Liverpool in Paris in 1981. Yeah, Real Madrid are now trying to apply a higher press on Manchester City, but it's half-hearted. And Mahrez is through here. Riyad Mahrez hits the post, and Foden hits the man on the line. De Bruyne, who was Carvajal. De Bruyne and Rodri slithered. And another one has gone away for City. Another moment has escaped them. Well, just look at Militao. Here, Peter. Just go and win it. And he just misjudges it. And Mahrez is through, and he thinks he's picking his spot perfectly. And then once it does come back up the post, Foden actually catches it really nicely and tries to side-foot it back into the net. And then is denied once more. And yet Manchester City can't add a third. Oh, what depth of regret. De Bruyne, Laporte, I've got Diaz. Referee see the push. Militao can regather himself. It's the kind of movement from Rodri, really, as opposed to Diaz. But just watch Militao here. He's just dozing. And he should have gotten there quicker. I mean, to be fair to Mahrez, he does look to see if the support is there, and he ignores Foden. And then Foden does get his chance at the end, and Guardiola's left in disbelief once more. How are we not further ahead? They lead the game, Manchester City, and yet they are anguished. Not least because they know that instinctively, historically, Real Madrid themselves will be full of goals. This is an ever-present threat. Indeed, since they collapsed against Barcelona on the 20th of March, they've scored at least twice in all 6 of their April games. But here's Fernandinho for City, who keep pressing away. In by De Bruyne, just beyond the reach of Foden, and Carvajal can watch it behind. Well, it's that classic slot that De Bruyne likes to get into. And then usually he whips in the perfect cross. To be honest, that wasn't bad. It was just a little too pacey for Jesus and indeed Foden to be able to get on the end of. Fernandinho. I think if Real Madrid can keep the scoreline the way it is, it will be the great escape. Laporte, Foden, Zinchenko, Jesus, Foden. Weekend here against one of the minnows of the English Premier League, against a Watford team which is very likely to be relegated. Manchester City got 5 goals in the first 53 minutes of the game, and they could easily have 5 here, and that is no exaggeration. I'm not trying to be too harsh on Real Madrid, but Watford looked like a better side than them. Fernandinho, Mahrez, Zinchenko, Foden, Verde looking to wriggle out. He wriggled into trouble, and here's De Bruyne looking to shape one. Down again by Rodri for Bernardo Silva. Jesus from wide. Mahrez hoisted up towards Foden, who leant at the back of Carvajal. Yeah, he was climbing. Mahrez, Fernandinho away from Mendy. Fernandinho's cross, Foden! That feels a whole lot more like it. And now the Catalan grin is broad. And the blue moon rises as Foden rose.
Well, it was a case of who wanted it more. When it's fed down the line to Vinicius Junior, Fernandinho was just quicker to it. Vinicius Junior was not as interested. And the ball in is absolutely glorious. It's exquisite. It's just set up nicely so he could ping it far post, and Phil Foden was never going to miss that. And finally they've got their third. That gives a fair reflection, and maybe not fair enough.
Now he's pumped again. No longer head in hands, but hands applauding from Pep Guardiola, and Ancelotti has the problem. A coach who domestically is within a point of being a champion. Real Madrid just need to draw at the weekend, and La Liga is theirs.
Guardiola could be in trouble here, and he's received a yellow card for moaning about the throw-in, which he felt should have been Manchester City's.
Continues the conversation, albeit one hopes respectfully, otherwise that yellow card will change colour.
Yeah, an apology in the end because he knew he wasn't getting anywhere. And maybe the next step for the referee was red if he carried on the descent.
Gross. Nacho. Nacho harried again. Gross. Mendy. It's a terrific turn from Vinicius, who chases away from Diaz and keeps on going. Vinicius! Oh, wonderful goal! Wonderful goal! In a truly compelling game, whose twists and turns and dashes and darts are gripping all who are engaged by it. You just don't know what's happening next.
This is proper theatre. I spoke about Fernandinho pinching it from Vinicius Junior before, leading to the third City goal. Fernandinho gets it badly wrong on this occasion. Laporte's got to go to the danger. Diaz can't make the ground though. Laporte should get across, and he never does it. He never gets there, and it allows Vinicius Junior to get in this position just as Diaz is closing down. That's a delightful little finish. Wow. What a game, what drama.
What a football match. De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. City have to go and do it again. Bernardo Silva behind Jesus. And off goes Vinicius again. And Modric.
Just a little bit different to Atletico Madrid and their visit here.
It's almost a different sport, isn't it?
It's true, it is. I mean, this is just wonderful to see this kind of open, risk-taking football. Proper football. Football deserving of this stage.
Forward by Mendy. Modric. Militao juggling. Carvajal. Aimed up for Rodrigo, and Militao had joined, and his header was touched okay by Edison.
Well, he kept going forward. He just needed to try and pick out the left side of the goal, the right side for Ederson, and instead he went straight at the keeper.
Laporte. Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho.
What's next?
You said 3-2, didn't you? There've only been 7 shots on target in the game, actually, and 5 goals. Rodri, Foden, snapped away by Carvajal, taken away by Vinicius. He's off on his way again. Support from Benzema and from Mendy. Vinicius, Benzema. Vinicius, he's left Fernandinho behind, and he has kept it in, and he's kept on running. I'm not certain he was sure himself, hence the hesitation.
I don't think the assistant on that side, because he's running the other half, I don't think he could see whether the ball had crossed the line or not.
Bernardo Silva, Foden. There are times when this game is descending simply into glorious chaos.
Well, inevitably, when you get this many goals, it usually is accompanied by mistakes, and we're seeing plenty of those as well. But nobody's complaining.
Rodrigo, Benzema. On for Vinicius, face to face with Fernandinho. Benzema. And out by Rodri. The ever-present threat, the constant thorn in opposition flesh.
Well, this second half is like footballing basketball, end to end. Could have cleared it with his left foot.
Laporte, Foden.
Yeah, he was offside.
Only 21 years old, the Brazilian. He's got a few years of youth over Fernandinho, and once he'd got a yard or two ahead of him, he was only pulling away, and he had the poise and certainty to finish with aplomb.
Yeah, and his dummy nutmegged Fernandinho.
A compatriot who is 15 years his senior. Fernandinho. Pickpocketed this time by little Modric, who fades away from Bernardo Silva and rolls it up here for Karim Benzema. It's Benzema. Laporte stood his ground well. Rodri. Back by Kroos. Here's Valverde. Touched on for Dani Carvajal. In by Carvajal. Important reach by Diaz. Here's Modric. Luka Modric, and Rodri's where he needed to be. And it's City's turn. And that's a super ball for Jesus, who has De Bruyne for support and has Militao in retreat. Mahrez, De Bruyne. Zinchenko, poked away from chasers by Militao, coached forward by Carvajal. Laporte was there to meet it. Rodri. Zinchenko, Foden,
It's almost as if they're having a breather. They're just keeping the ball without any real purpose to it at the moment, and getting ready to go again, Manchester City.
An hour of this tie has passed. That's the bad news. The good news, there are 2 hours of it left. Zinchenko. Rodri. Zinchenko. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Zinchenko. Foden. Oops, out onto the head of Valverde. Reclaimed by Diaz. De Bruyne. Foden. Carvajal saw the danger. Bernardo Silva closed him down.
Carvajal read it well initially. Now, I was saying to you before kickoff that they have to come here with a defensive strategy as well. Ancelotti would figure something out, but they've maintained that 4-3-3 shape, because I thought it would turn into 4-5-1 more often than not, and it's not been the case.
Carvajal won it aerially. Valverde. Since that thrilling 3-2 extra time game against Chelsea a fortnight ago, Real Madrid have won twice away from home in goal-filled games. They had to come from 2-0 down to win 3-2 at Seville a week and a half ago. Last Wednesday they went to Osasuna and won 3-1. The line is that Camavinga is shortly to come on for Real Madrid. Foden, Zinchenko, Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho, dipped in by Fernandinho, flicked away by Carvajal, kept alive by Foden. Zinchenko. Laporte on the march. Zinchenko, Foden, De Bruyne, Zinchenko, in by Zinchenko. Laporte dragged it with him. Courtois made the block on the line.
Well, that's brilliant football, and I think Manchester City are going to need more of that. 1 and 2 touch, excellent. And once it was fed to Laporte, he did the right thing on his left foot, his favoured left, just redirected it and hoped it would beat Courtois.
Jesus. Modric took it back.
De Bruyne had made the perfect run then and couldn't be found.
Modric, Benzema. Ready? Vinicius Junior turning, Laporte getting across. Vinicius Junior get the ball from him. And here's Rodrigo. Rodrigo and Vinicius couldn't catch it up. The flag is up. Rodrigo gave his pass a switch too much.
Yeah, it should have been a better pass. I mean, the flag was raised in the end. I was wondering whether this would be a foul because, you know, he seemed to handle it a couple of times. Maybe again then. Yeah, he had just strayed, but just is enough.
So here's the change. It is Rodrigo who is coming off and Eduardo Camavinga who will replace him. In the expectation that Casemiro wasn't going to play from the start this evening, there was, in the Spanish press this morning, a sort of toss of the coin between those two to make up the 11th place, and Camavinga duly goes into midfield, and Valverde, one suspects, will move a little further forward. We'll see how that pans out. Here's Bernardo Silva. Mahrez. Jesus has gone down in the centre circle and is hobbling, barely even hobbling actually. Good time, run it off.
Yeah, Valverde is certainly playing from the right now, Peter, but at the moment he's like a right fullback. And if anything, they've gone to 4-4-1-1 because Modric seems to be just playing off Benzema.
Ronaldinho, De Bruyne, Zinchenko.
Yeah, Foden has a right to moan at Zinchenko, who's apologised.
Real Madrid have lost 7 football matches this season in its entirety. They went out of the Cup to Bilbao. They've lost 3 times in the Champions League. Sheriff, PSG and Chelsea, they've lost 3 times in La Liga. Espanyol, Getafe and most recently Barcelona. They trail again here. De Bruyne, Jesus, De Bruyne, snapped away by Militao. Taken up again by the strong running Vinicius. This time blocked by Fernandinho, once bitten, twice shy. Bernardo Silva. Rodri. Zinchenko. Rodri. Mahrez. Zinchenko. Foden. A relatively and rare sober section of the football match.
Yeah, a little bit of chest thrown in.
Fernandinho. Rodri. Zinchenko. Went over Kroos. Bernardo Silva, belter! Absolute belter! He has creamed that into the top corner. Another delicious decoration on this sumptuous football match. And by the way, an outstanding piece of refereeing to wave that on. Because had he been more swift to his whistle, we would not have witnessed that wonderful moment.
Well, I think Isvan Kovac, the referee, can claim that as an assist. Because it's very good refereeing on his part. Yes, it's a foul, but he basically allowed the play to go on once Kroos committed that. But I mean, Carvajal's thinking, well, I'm okay here because I've got Bernardo Silva where I want him. I can get a block on this. And then all of a sudden, he couldn't. And this is just remarkable. It seems to catch them by surprise. And certainly Courtois, he can't deal with that. And it's a smasher. He's absolutely smashed that into the roof of the net.
And for the third time in the game, Manchester City have a 2-goal lead. Can they preserve this one? To this point, every time Real Madrid look as though they're slipping away, they find a way back. Can Benzema canter a way back once more? Another terrific goal.
Peter, I'm just trying to remember, Manchester City began their campaign here.
Mahrez, Bernardo Silva.
They began their campaign here and beat RB Leipzig 6-3.
Yeah. De Bruyne, Jesus. Mahrez. Oh!
Sensational footwork. But we know he has that in him. And the problem for him in the end, that the skill that brought him this far made the angle much tighter. And you've got to give Courtois some credit here as well, because he makes it even tighter again. Wow, nearly 5.
And he is animated again, and he is up again. He's bubbling again, effervescent. Football with fizz. I've got Rodri. I've got Jesus. Free kick Real Madrid.
If you paid for a ticket to be in this stadium tonight, then you're being thrilled. Maybe not the Real Madrid fans, but you are being thrilled. We're lucky. We've had free entry. This is a privilege.
52,217 at-board tickets. I'll be glad they did. Ancelotti still has on his side an hour and a half at the Bernabeu. And not quite so many rowdy Mancunians will be there. They're having one of the nights of their lives. Backed by Carvajal.
Ceballos has been summoned to the bench.